What's up, man?
Hey, how's it going? This is great to have you here on the Road to Rock. You are officially on the Road to Rock. So, what a
That's
day it
right.
is. How's it
I'm
going?
always on the road to rock.
You are on the road. Also, I mean, you guys have kind of become that reliable summer all over the place band, and I don't know that I've ever seen a string of dates that takes a band to all four corners of this country like you guys are doing this spring and summer, man.
Yeah, you got to do it. I mean, if you want to be in the rock game, you got to be out there touring for sure.
Well, we'll have you at Rocklahoma here coming up in September. Which, funny enough, the last time I saw you guys at Rocklahoma, you were involved in a power outage, like two songs into your set, if you a couple years ago, if you remember that.
Oh, wow. Kind of vaguely, I do remember that. I've done a lot of shows, but yeah, I mean, you got to just kind of roll with it.
Yeah, that was kind of a crazy one. I've seen a lot of things, but that was because it was like in the middle of a beautiful day. It was like no storms or anything, so it was just like power out, and that's the end of Buckcherry. Two songs in, so it'll be great to
Yeah.
to see you guys, man. You're gonna. I'm in Missouri, so we got you guys coming up all over the area here in Lake of the Ozarks in a couple weeks, and out in Wichita right around there. So very excited about it. Busy time for you guys. New album, Volume 10
Yeah.
comes out in 2 weeks, my man.
Our 10th record, yes. Very excited to hit this milestone and to have, I'm very excited for the public to hear this record. It's really great. We've been sitting on it since October of last year, so to have it on the street is going to be awesome.
I'm have listened to the whole thing. I really enjoy it. Just talk about like
Thank you.
your relationship with Stevie D and like what kind of he has brought to you. He's been kind of your right hand man since 2005, and you guys have continued to crank out top notch
Yeah.
content. This album here,
Yeah.
I got to do the thing. I got to say it, it's your best since I don't know 2008. Let's just say that. We'll just throw that out there. That's a good blabbermouth headline.
Yeah, it's pretty arguably our best record to date, this and Hellbound for sure. We got a good chemistry going, me and Stevie and Marty Fredrickson, our producer, and I like to call him our sixth band member when we make records. We he co-writes a lot of songs with us as well, and we met him way back on 15 when he co-wrote Sorry together, and he's just an awesome guy, and really enjoy making records with him, and it really shows with the quality of product that we're putting out, and yeah, excited. I've known Stevie since I was 19, way before Buckcherry. So it's great to do this with him after all these years for sure.
Well, there's a real dynamic here, and I'll tell you, you get your, kind of what you'd expect from a Buckcherry album with songs like "Good Time" and "Turn It On,"
Yep.
and then you go in some other directions. Like and this is just me. This may be controversial, but "Feels Like Love" is one of my favorite Buckcherry songs to this day, and I know
Let's
that's
go.
yeah, it's a kind of a slower one, but it's absolutely tremendous. So
Yeah.
talk to me about that song and kind of the
It's
impetus
it's
for
kind
writing
of
it.
it's kind of a pulsating kind of mid-tempo type ballad, and the template was really it's pretty obvious, when you think about it, but I'm pretty obsessed with the Def Leppard song Hysteria, and so I just came in one day and Marty and Stevie were sitting there and I said, I want Buckcherry's Hysteria. That's what I want. And they're like, okay. And I left and they delivered that music a little later and just got to it. Wrote the song pretty quickly after that and came in and nailed it. And it's like such an amazing moment now in the sets, in our show. And really love that song.
Yeah, that's interesting that you say that because I feel like this has a single written all over it, and I know the album comes out here in June 2nd, a couple weeks. But is there maybe plans to make it a single?
Yeah, we're talking about all that kind of stuff. We're gonna be rolling this out for a while, so I think either Feels Like Love or Pain is gonna be coming at some point, probably more towards the end of the year, because we have a lot of songs on this record, so we'll see what happens, but I'm right there with you.
You guys have been out and touring and playing shows. Do you kind of prefer that when you are able to play a string of shows with before a new album comes out, so you can kind of get those songs out there and see kind of how they go over, and then when you have like a new leg of the tour, you can redo the set list, or this doesn't work here? Or, I mean, do you enjoy that?
Yeah, I enjoy it, to kind of take the temperature of how everybody's reacting to songs, and but nowadays the new way of dropping a record, you drop like, three or four songs off your record before your record is actually released. That's what's going on now. And I really like that, like uh Good Time, Let's Get Wild, and Shine Your Light. They're already out there, and people are reacting to those songs like they've heard them on the radio for a long time. So that's a real good sign. And we always love playing new music, of course. Every band does usually.
Well, it's crazy to think that I remember I was in high school um, when the the first Buckcherry album came out, and I'll never forget like seeing some of those videos for the first time, and now to see like a song like "Shine a Light" and what a tremendous video it is, and getting great airplay and stuff like that. It's funny because videos have become rather important once again. And there was a time where that was just kind of taboo. And now with YouTube and things like that, people find this stuff and it gets out there, and it's really important. The production on all three of your videos, especially Shine Your Light, which just came out a couple weeks ago, is tremendous. So the videos are very important
Yes.
these days, like you said. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Marty Fredrickson. He's a great producer. And yeah, that's the way you market records now. It's a whole different ballgame. I mean, rock radio kind of went away, and it doesn't really mean much at the end of the day anyways. And so now we market through Spotify, the internet, socials, and dropping videos.
Well, very excited for this. And, I think that the Buckcherry fans that have been around and been through it with you guys are going to be excited, just through the roof about it. And critical acclaim is coming. I've already turned in my coverage, by the way. A+ for me. Gave it some,
Let's go.
yeah. I mean,
Thank you.
just some guy in Missouri here with this podcast, but got it in. I got my 9 out of 10 on the for the record label, so can't hurt.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You got a cover here. I got to talk to you about this because I got to be honest. Bryan Adams is quite frankly one of my favorite performers of all time. I just saw him in Vegas a couple months ago. Summer of '69 is one of my favorite songs. I think if you just forced me with a gun to my head, 10 songs, favorite pop rock songs of all time, Summer of '69. It's a tough vocal to tackle. I never really I took for granted kind of Bryan's voice and what he brings, and he's so unique. You've done Summer of '69, and it's just a tremendous version. Just talk about kind of why that song and the impetus for recovering that.
Yeah, we would just throw it out there live over the years, and have fun because we're huge fans of Bryan Adams and that song. I mean, I think every musician has songs that they wish they would have written because they like them so much. And that's one of them for me, at least, and everybody in this band loves that song as well. And we would just throw it out there for fun. And everybody liked it, and then our manager caught it one night and he was like, "You got to record that song." And we were like, "Okay, yeah, we'll do it sometime." We didn't think much of it, and it just kind of came in right at the end, and he kept hammering and pressing us to do it. So he's really the reason why we actually recorded it. And I'm glad he stayed on it because I really like it. We sped it up a little bit and we put our little Buckcherry flavor on it, and it sounds like a Buckcherry song. Recorded that song very quickly. I'd already I sang Pain. I did the whole I did all the lead, the doubles, everything to Pain early on in the day. And then I wasn't going to do Summer of '69 till the next day. And then Marty called me up, Marty Fredrickson, a little later on in the day. He goes, "Hey, can you just come by and just record Summer of '69 real quick? I mean, you got it in you." And I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." And went there, recorded the whole song in like maybe like an hour and a half. It took me, and it just sounds great. There's a perfect way to record that song.
And a perfect ending to the album. It's the last track on the album, and it kind of just takes you home and it takes you back. That song, I'm a nostalgic person. I like to look back and reflect. That song just does it. Summer's coming up. What more do we need here?
Yeah.
Josh, I got to ask you, because this band, this entity, Buckcherry, I mean, you've been to the highest of highs. You've been on hiatus. The band's kind of relatively gone away and returned and come back to the stratosphere. You guys have upside down in one way or the other. Just talk about this
Yep.
journey, what it's meant to you, and the fact that you've come out here on the other side and things have become so stable for you now, and that Buckcherry still remains such a powerful entity here in the American rock lexicon.
Yeah, I have to say, that Buckcherry's in the best place that it's ever been, right now, which is great. Learned a lot over the years, a lot of peaks and valleys, like you're saying, and life is a journey, all you can do is learn from, every situation, and that's what I've done, and got to a place where, we got just really good people in the mix, and I go through gratitude lists every morning, out loud by myself. That's kind of part of my routine every morning. I work out and I get into gratitude. And one thing I'm super grateful for is my bandmates and my team, because everything is jiving really well and it has been for quite some time now. And so, the records are a direct reflection of that as well. They're great and I'm super happy. And, um, I just want to just continue to just keep on keeping on, that's our whole mentality, and we love what we do. So it's going well.
Well, for me, it's been a journey because like I said, I'll never forget seeing Lit Up for the first time and just seeing how you guys went to the top so fast. And then I also saw you in a solo show here in Warrensburg, Missouri, back in like 2005 in a small club there on Pine
Wow.
Street,
Right.
little college town here in Missouri. And I'm just like, oh my God, Josh Todd's playing in this place that like I've gone in and gotten a beer at a ton of times, getting an
Right.
MIP, and then to see you back at the Rocklahomas, the big festivals back. It's just it's for fans, I think, too, that have gone with you on this journey. It's gratifying for them and for us as well. So it's just,
Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Yeah. We're having a great time and the shows are going off and there's a lot of them this summer. So hopefully everybody gets out to them.
yeah, you've done some shows with a band I'm quite fond of, which is Skid Row, and you've got some more coming up here, I think in August. What's it been like
Yeah.
touring with the guys from Skid Row? I never quite knew growing up because like Buckcherry was seemed to be kind of a bridge gapping band between like the end of the hair metal era, the kind of end of grunge, and you guys are like into the new millennium. I didn't know like kind of what your influences were, but Skid Row, that seems like those shows are going over great. Eric Gronwall, man, tremendous singer.
Yeah. He's not only is he a great singer, he's a really nice person.
Yeah.
I really like him. And singers don't really jive too well, and he's very cool. And yeah, I mean, Skid Row, come on, they have really great songs, great live show. He's bringing it every night. um and the shows are selling out, a lot of them. So we started with one leg and it did so well, we booked two more legs with them, and there's talk of maybe a fourth leg. So, uh, we're just happy to be aligned with other bands that have the same goals and want to do the same things. And they just dropped the record as well, and so it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, it's tremendous, and I'm so glad to see because yeah, they had a new album come out a year ago, and you guys here once again. I want to make sure everybody is aware that Volume 10 it comes out June 2nd. By the time you hear this,
June
it'll be
2nd.
just over 10 days away or so by the time this interview airs. So so excited for you, Josh, and I know that this summer is gonna be crazy because like you guys, like I said, are literally everywhere. Do you like the headlining shows where it's like just you and you do maybe a 13 14 song set list as opposed to maybe you cut off a few when you do a run with someone else, or does that even bother you at all? Do you care either way?
I like both situations for different reasons, but I think right now, because we have the ammunition, with these last two records, it's like it's put us over the top, which is where I've always wanted to be. I wanted to have a headlining set that had no filler, no songs that were just kind of, you know, uh yeah, I just wanted it to be great from top to bottom. And now we really have the goods, and we can really rotate stuff every night, and it's still tremendous. And so I'm really enjoying just the headlining shows. But also, when we do shows at Skid Row, we only do an hour and they do an hour. And that's a lot of fun too. And challenging as well to like make that hour just so perfect, because we have so many songs. It's hard to like squeeze it into an hour.
Do you feel like you've evolved as a front man, Josh? Because thinking back to the early days, you have the one of the most distinct voices kind of in rock, and you have a look also, and you well, let's just face it, you look the exact same that you did back in 1999. Let's be honest here. You look great.
That's very, you're very kind because I'm 52 now.
Yeah.
So that means a lot.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I remember ordering an Alice Cooper pay-per-view like in around 99 or 2000, and my dad going, "Do you know how old that guy is?" And he was 53 at the time. I looked it up.
Right,
And
right.
so it's just like, but a lot of bands from your era, you don't think of like Limp Bizkit, Fred Durst, or Kid Rock, or you got that. You guys are kind of, for a lot of people, are still like the young guys around because bands like Kiss and Motley Crue still tour. So it keeps you kind of,
Right.
you're still some of the young guys out there in a way.
Yeah, the people kind of lump us in with like a lot of the 80s decade of bands, and it's
Mhm.
like we dropped our first record in 1999. We're like a whole generation from that, but it's all right, it's all good. It's all and we've the cool thing about Buckcherry is we can play with Kiss, and then we can go play with some kind of active rock band, and we can play with heavier bands, and we can do clean shows or dirty shows. It doesn't matter, we're just all over the place. We can always adjust and get on any stage, and that's what we've done.
Well, I know you're not necessarily a guy that, looks back and has these, memories or thoughts about specific shows or things that happened back when, but I do have to ask you because it had been a while since I'd seen you, but on the 2008 Crew Fest tour, you guys, Papa Roach, Trapped, 6 a.m., that was a kind of a, you had done Crazy Bitch, I think a year or two before that. And so you were kind of
Yep.
back, had worked your way back into this huge role. Just memories from that tour. I think that was, I saw that in St. Louis, and I think it was a really good tour. It brought a lot of bands together. Crew only did it one other
Yeah.
time. So, but that one I think was the best one, Crew Fest one.
Yeah, I agree. And it was great. I mean, all those bands you're talking about were a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun hanging out as well. And, Tommy would put on he would have these dance parties after the crew show. And, all the band and crew would go in there, and it was, we just had a good time. It was a lot of fun. And I think I want to say it was all summer too, so it
Yeah.
was like, it was just fun to go, they were all mostly outdoor venues. So that's always fun for bands.
Yeah, that was I think the hottest day of the year here in Missouri. We get that a lot. There's a lot of hottest days of the year in Missouri because it's long, hot, humid summers here, which you might be finding
Yeah.
out about coming up here. Just a warning. It's all
I
good for
thrive
you.
in the heat. The
So
hotter,
do
the
I.
better for me. I like it as a vocalist. It's good for me.
Plus, you can still pull off the shirtless look, so that helps.
There you go. Yeah, that
Uh,
helps.
Josh, before we let you go here, my friend, I got to get to our final four drum roll. Four quick questions. You give
Okay.
us whatever comes to mind. We'll have some fun and we'll get you out of here, my friend.
Okay.
Okay, first concert that you ever attended or that you paid to get into, your first show ever that you remember.
That would be the Ramones Fender Ballroom, Long Beach, California. Fender's
That's
Ballroom.
an awesome
Yeah.
one. That's an awesome
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
What?
and quite a night. I had slip-on Vans on, and I was in the slam pit, and I'd never been in a slam pit, and that slam pit was insane, and it was actually pretty scary. I mean, I almost got horizontal in the crowd. It was like crazy, rocking back and forth, and I lost my shoe, right? So my foot started getting trampled, and I'm like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. And I just remember like clawing my way out of the crowd. And then I went and sat down like against the wall in the back, just trying to gather myself. And at that time, I was like this little punk rock surfer punk rock kid. I had like spiky blonde hair, and there was these wars going on with the skinheads and just the regular punk rock dudes. And so they would like battle in Fender's Ballroom. It was scary. And so I'm sitting there against the wall, and this big fucking skinhead starts walking up to me, and I'm like, oh fuck, this guy's gonna kick my ass. He's coming over here to beat the shit out of me. And I just didn't say anything. And he sat down next to me, and he didn't say anything to me. And he lights up a joint, and he hands it to me. And I just smoked a joint with him, and I'm like, yes,
And that
this is
was the
fucking
end of the war, right? Ended right there.
yeah. I was like, these are my people.
What year
This
was
is where
that?
it's at.
What year was that?
Oh man, it was in the 80s sometime. I don't know.
Okay,
Early
because
80s.
if I would have guessed, I would have thought maybe your first show would have been Winger somewhere in the LA area. I was wrong.
No,
I'm just
no, no.
kidding.
I didn't. I never listened to that kind of stuff,
I know
you
that.
know.
I know that actually because I remember
Uh,
on VH1 one time you like took a shot at Winger, so I just
No,
random
it's not
memory.
that I'm not taking a shot at them. I just didn't, it wasn't, I grew up on like, surfing and skating and independent, punk rock
Sure.
records. And, I didn't listen to my first major label rock record till I was 17, and so I gravitated towards like, AC/DC and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
of course, absolutely. And your range of influences, you could hear it in a lot of the music over the years. Okay, question two.
I actually met Winger on the Monsters of Rock boat cruise for the first time, and he was a super nice guy, really talented guy.
Kip, oh my gosh, yeah. When he was in
Yeah,
Alice Cooper's band in like 1986, him and Kane Roberts, that was a great lineup of Alice Cooper. And I do enjoy a little Winger, to be honest. I do.
yeah, he's a good dude.
No guilty pleasure there. Question two: what song? We've kind of gone down this road a little bit, but what song from the new album, Volume 10, has maybe surprisingly gone over better than you would have thought on this first kind of string of dates so far?
Let's Get Wild. That's been a song that's kind of hung around, and I just, I thought it was a cool song. Just never thought it was, spectacular. But like everybody in Europe loves that song. Everyone in the States, when we play it, goes crazy. And there's not even a video for it. It's like
Yeah,
it's really been kind of the sleeper for me. Like, okay, now I'm really digging it.
that's got some good Buckcherry sleaze into it, and some. So
It's
yeah,
fun.
I
It's
see.
fun.
I see that one. That's a good answer though, because that's not one that I would have maybe guessed. So, question three: what album did you buy with your own money? The first album that you ever bought with your own money, or that you stole? Either or.
First album I ever bought with my own money. Wow, that's probably Dig That Groove Baby, the Toy Doll.
So yes, okay, okay. I'll rephrase it. You're the first major record label album that you bought with your own money,
Oh, major
since that
major
was
label.
later.
It would be AC/DC's Back in Black. That
Okay,
was a huge record for me.
that's a pretty major album right there.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Yep.
seminal.
That's very major. It's like the best hard rock record of all time, in my opinion.
Okay, you could last question. You could do one set with one band, and you'd be the front man for one show, living or dead. Any band? What band would that be?
For one show. Oh, it wouldn't be a rock band. It would definitely be Prince. I would like
Oh,
to sing the Prince songs and have
that's
the Prince vocal range and do the Prince set. That would be amazing.
dude, that's a fantastic answer. Maybe the best answer I've heard. Josh, I can't thank you enough for your time. I'm going to be seeing you out there like a bunch of times. So again, if you're in our area here, we're in Kansas City, Lake of the Ozarks coming up May 27th, Memorial Weekend. Come out and party with Buckcherry. It's going to be great. And then
Let's
at
get
Rocklahoma
it.
too. Thank you so much. The album's great, my friend. No lies. Can't thank you enough, and continued success, Josh. We really appreciate you.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you. And thanks for doing your homework.
You bet. Thanks a lot.
All right.
Bye.